aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, burglary of a building. How do you plead to this?
Yes.
Burglaries. How many burglary convictions do you have?
Couldn't tell you how many. I don't know, so I tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Why? I can tell you how many I've got. You made your bed, you're gonna lay in this third-degree felony of assault of hospital personnel. He was acting bizarre. You're looking at up to 10 years in prison. He's going to serve the equivalent of 180 days. Are you going to interrupt me too?
My bad.
Is that right? You're just rude too?
I'm not being rude.
Yeah.
Today we're in Beaumont, Texas on Judge Stevens' call. We have two cases. In the first, the defendant doesn't know whether this is his fifth or sixth burglary beef. He's cruising along pretty well in his guilty plea until he opens his mouth. Same with the second. It's definitely bizarre compared to the first. One of these defendants will derail his case. Any bets on which one? Let's roll, nerds.
Okay. 24 CR 2389 is now called the state of Texas versus Marvin Lynn King. Or you, Mr. King?
Yes.
Present with Mr. Adams, your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
In summary, I don't have any papers here.
Oh.
Yeah.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about October 15th, 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third-degree felony of assault of hospital personnel on hospital property. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, you understand what you've been charged with.
Yeah.
If convicted of a third-degree felony, you face no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Do you understand?
You understand the range of
The
punishment?
punishment range?
Yes.
What?
Can I do a 12-14?
A what?
A 12-14.
A 12-14. You don't even know what you're talking about, do you?
12-44.
Yeah, you got all the numbers wrong.
The deal is 10 overtime, 60 days off. That's why it's not working. That's what it is.
We have to do this one step at a time. Once again, this is a third-degree felony. You are looking at no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
An agreement has been reached where you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. That would be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years. And is there any restitution or anything?
No, Your Honor.
No fine?
No fine.
There would be terms and conditions which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Stand by. Just
We're requesting the 60 days upfront jail time as a condition.
how long have you been in jail,
3 months.
sir?
He said 3 months.
3.
Games as well. I need something to say my.
Stop.
What's he in jail for in the first place? I mean, what was he in at the hospital for in the first place? Does anybody know?
And this is Mr. Eckers. Let me check.
Drugs or something? Because the whole thing looks like he was acting bizarre. It says a registered nurse was attempting to take care of him while adjusting the defendant in the hospital bed. Then the defendant began to strike the registered nurse in the face, causing him pain and injury.
I hate it. Well, somebody else in there. I don't know what it was, but
He's admitting that hitting the person in the.
I hate him. But I ain't even. But
I can't. First of all, she's got to take down everything you say, and you're mumbling. But if you want to say something, I'm anxious to hear it. You have a right to be heard, sir. But you're mumbling.
He was in there under an emergency.
No, I don't. I'm not. I want him to speak. He speaks for himself. What do you want to go ahead? You can speak. if you want. Well, what's your version?
I don't know what about it.
Well, number one, assaults on whether it's police officers or public servants of any degree, they're not there to be assaulted. They're there to take care of people. And at the hospital, we don't want people saying, I don't need this job anymore because people assault me when I'm trying to take care of them. And there's no accountability. It's a crime, and it's a serious crime. You're looking at up to 10 years in prison for assaulting somebody. And this court is going to make sure that people are taken care of. That is, when they are public servants, private servants, they're there to help people as a career, that they shouldn't be assaulted without there being some strict accountability. How long has he been in jail, please? And this court's going to protect those people, those victims. They it's hard enough to get people in these careers. They're certainly not going to take abuse. That's not what they get paid to do.
In jail since December the 8th,
How much time is that?
100 days.
That's 100 days.
Let's say.
I can, as a condition of probation, I can order up to 180 days.
This street cars.
You're just mumbling.
I ain't not been
Stop
there.
talking. Stop talking.
All right, this says 60 days up front. He's going to serve the equivalent of 180 days. That's 80 more days on my watch.
Okay.
You don't assault people like this who are public servants, who are protected under the law and not
The time.
have to pay. Are you going to interrupt me
My
too?
bad, my bad.
Is that right? You're just rude too?
I'm not being rude.
Yes, you are, sir. Only one person can speak at a
My
time.
bad, my bad.
Listen quietly. Only one person can speak at a time. You have a fair opportunity to be heard. You have a right to be heard, and we're going to listen to you. This lady right here is the most important person in the room, according to the Supreme Court. She is the court reporter. She has to take down everything that's being said. When two people are speaking on top of each other, she can't take that down. And then the Supreme Court judges, they get upset at everybody in the room. They ought to. Because it's rude, number one, but it's illegal to prevent the court reporter from doing her job responsibly. So you get to speak, I get to speak. Let's don't step on top of each other. All right, this says 60 days up front. That's not what I'm accepting. He's going to end up with 180 days. That would be 80 days from today, right? He's got 100.
100 as of today.
As of today, he's got 100. So I'm going to order 80 more days as a condition of probation. Does everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so y'all, did y'all want to,
He's a mix.
Do you want to-
Stop talking, man. You're
do
gonna.
y'all want to change this here? It says 60 days. It's up to the court to decide how much. That's kind of my, here. All right, an agreement has been reached here, Mr. King, that you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison, probated, and that would be probated, and you would be placed on regular probation for 10 years. If you do well, I can shorten your probation to 1/3 of its time. Are you going to do well? Good. Also, you're going to complete an anger management program as part of probation, and I think everybody ought to go through something like that because that's everybody okay over there?
No, sir. But thank you.
I stopped. I hear voices, my baby.
Stop talking.
I don't know what kind I hear.
Okay, and also there's 80 additional days upfront jail time. Is that the agreement on everyone, which I'm going to follow
Yes.
and place you on probation? If I follow this agreement, sir, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
What then?
I mean, you can't appeal.
You can't appeal anything because I'm agreeing with what y'all want.
All right, it's clear.
Oh. How do you plead to this, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Yeah, it's
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily? That is on your own free will and because you are guilty.
yeah, volunteer.
Yes, sir.
He said yes.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily?
That's it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you understand it? Discuss it with your attorney?
Yes.
Are the contents all true and correct?
Yes. He said they're true, what you signed.
Yeah, that's true.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence without objection.
No objection.
Admitted. Among other things, sir, this states that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is free. You can't interrupt, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses, and you were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true, so help you God. Correct?
Right.
State's Exhibit 1, part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence
Objection.
report is waived.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to follow this agreement, sir, if nothing further, and find you pleading guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this third-degree felony of assault on hospital personnel or hospital property. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in prison, the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, to serve a term of 10 years. I'm going to suspend that term and place you on regular probation instead for 10 years. Please follow those terms and conditions of probation. They will be reviewed with you by the probation office. If you fail, your probation could be revoked and you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison, which you don't want. As a condition of probation, you must attend and complete anger management program. That is helpful. That's good for everybody so that they can maintain composure under stressful situations. Also, you're going to serve 80 additional days in the county jail as a condition of this probation. You will be released. And where are you going to go live? Your mom? Okay.
Well, how I went from 60 days to 80?
Because I can assess 180 up to 180 days. And this 80 days and what you've served 100 will equal 180 days. And that's what this court does when you assault, when any defendant assaults people who are protected under the law, such as law enforcement officers, court personnel, or hospital personnel.
Why not 160 days?
Sir?
You better stop talking. Just stop talking, brother.
Yeah.
Stop
You're on
talking.
probation. You're on probation now. Right now. Okay. So you don't want to do anything or say anything that would get your probation revoked a minute into your probation. I think you can do this. Follow the rules, Mr. King. Just do it. You can do it. Just be a good person. Okay. See the probation officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks. To a cause numbers 23 CR 1411, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and 23 CR 1838, burglary of a building. Correct?
That's
Yes, sir.
All. He's going to be pleading both of these?
Yes,
Is that correct? All right. Does the defendant waive formal readings of the indictments and the arraignments here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, 1411 alleges that on or about July 31st, 2023 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the second-degree felony of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Do you understand what you're charged with? The deadly weapon was namely a knife. You face, if convicted, no less than 2, no more than 20 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Do you understand?
Sir.
An agreement's been reached in that case where you would be pleading guilty and placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation, which can be up to 10 years in length. There would be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Is that your understanding of the plan?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have, Johnny, you have no right of appeal.
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this, sir?
Yes.
Guilty and not
Yes.
guilty? Are you pleading guilty voluntarily
Yes, sir.
and because you were guilty?
Yes, sir.
It's taking its time. Let's go to 1838 now. We're going to put the other one in suspense for just a moment. And does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment? Can we proceed in summary here?
Yes, sir.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about September 5th, 2023 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the state jail felony of burglary of a building. Do you understand
Yes, sir.
what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
If convicted, you face confinement in a state jail for any term of not less than 180 days or more than 2 years. In addition, you may be assessed a fine not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The agreement's been reached there that you would be sentenced to 2 years in the state jail. And then that would be, there is no deferred on this one, right?
No, Your Honor.
2 years in the state jail, you would be found guilty, placed on probation, regular probation for up to 5 years in length. Restitution is owed in the amount of, is it $7,000?
7,000. Yes, Your Honor.
$7,000
Yes, sir.
to
Jesus.
the complainant
Yes, sir.
in this indictment, Jesus Gallardo Chavez.
That's
Yes,
correct.
Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case as well as the previous case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Who knows more about your life than you do?
No, what? Good Lord.
How many prior burglaries of buildings like this one that you just pleaded guilty to? How many burglary of building convictions do you have?
Couldn't be. I mean,
I thought you were the one who knew so much about you.
I do them about 5 or 6.
That's your answer? About 5 or maybe
I don't know,
6?
sir. I don't know, sir. Tell you, I'm gonna be honest with
Why? I can tell you how many I've got.
you. Yes.
Everybody in this room could tell you how many felony convictions they have. Are you saying you have so many you can't even
No, I don't have that
remember
many.
them?
No, I just got a short-term memory, so
You mean like,
I don't be getting the head with part of that. Scoring on.
you
stabbing
mean,
my
you mean your short-term memory, not to be a smart aleck, but is it, you can't remember the law that
Can't
you
remember.
follow?
I can't remember. I mean,
You, can you follow the law or not?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You didn't again.
I apologize for this.
You apologize? Does that make a difference at all? When somebody's owed $7,000, you harmed them for $7,000? And I know you have at least 4 prior convictions of burglaries because they're alleged in the indictment as prior convictions. How are you going to pay this back?
To go in and work. I do construction work.
I mean, do you make money
Yes,
in
sir.
construction? You do? You do.
Making money doing construction work, yes.
Yeah, about how much do you make a year, would you say?
Couldn't say. I make,
Yeah, you could say, because you, like you said, you know more about you than anybody here in the room. About how much?
30.
30,000? That's about every year?
Like that.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on probation. The first thing you're gonna do, you provide all your tax returns for the last 5 years to him on my behalf. I want to see what you're saying. You produce copies of your tax returns. That's gonna be one of the conditions of probation. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I want that done in 3 weeks.
Sir, but I've been working.
I don't care.
Yes,
You made your bed. You're gonna lay in this one.
yes, sir.
How long is he? What type of credit does he have on him? You just can't. You couldn't tell the truth if you had to. I mean, the thing is, I know the answers to these questions, and you're not telling me the truth on any of them.
Been in jail for 105 days.
Well, you're not getting out until you serve 6 months. Number one.
Judge, not to disagree with the court or anything
Good.
like that, but Mr. Jacobs has colon problems. His father died of colon issues, so did his uncle. He has two brothers that both have colon cancer problems, and he does. He has not been treated. Had an appointment to see a doctor for treatment when he was arrested, or a few days before he was arrested. And basically, I just point that out to the court. Not that it's going to change anything, but
And it doesn't keep him from committing one felony after another. I mean, we're talking about aggravated assault here, second-degree felony, exhibiting deadly weapon. You cut the man with a knife here on the second-degree felony, but there we go. 5. We're about to have at least 5 burglaries of buildings, and then this one, this victim is out $7,000. Just makes a mess. Doesn't learn at all. Last time he went to prison, I guess, was burglary of a building in 2023, as of one in 2009, out of this court. That was one in 2007, out of this court, as one in the 252nd in 2000. Burglaries. Yeah, I'm sorry. Number one, everybody's got health problems, but number two, this is ironic. You want to stay out of jail because you continue to commit felony offenses with your health problems that have nothing to do with your decision making. No, it is unheard of that I'd be placing him on probation anyway for his rich criminal history, especially the 5th time to commit the same kind of offense. I mean, nobody gets probation.
I understand Your
All
Honor.
right.
I think
All right.
the
That's
restitution
everybody
is
knows.
important, but again, I wanted to make the court aware of this
Okay.
medical problem.
Tell the jail about it and let them know they're going to make the decision on the medical. And everybody's got medical issues, and they're going to make the decision on the medical side. I am going to make the decision where I am going to be fair and impartial with the defendants, but I'm also going to bring victims into the equation, and they're up at the front as well. They deserve attention. They deserve to be treated fairly. And with your decision making, you don't seem to care. You commit. Everybody in this room, if they could get to a casino, they put all they've got on. You're going to commit a burglary pretty soon. Once you get out on probation, that's what you do. It's just the nature of you don't change.
No.
Then you've had 4 convictions
No.
that you got punished and your hand was slapped each time, and still you're doing the same thing. And now we're going to roll in almost killing somebody by knifing them.
Sir, it was self-defense. He put a knife on me, sir.
Is that it? It was self-defense? Is it self-defense? You just pleaded guilty. You didn't say anything. Are you saying self-defense?
Well, the guy put on a knife.
Sir, are you saying you defended yourself in self-defense?
Yes.
No,
He put a knife on me.
and you were defending yourself? Is that what you're saying? Yes? No deals. We'll set this for trial. I'm not going to sit there with you saying I did this in self-defense and then lie that I am guilty of the crime.
I am guilty.
No, sir, you are asserting self-defense, and that's a right you have. We'll set this for trial. Mr. Grove is your public defender. He's able to represent you, and he does a great job in trial, but you can probably get to trial quicker if you agree to release him. The next person on the trial docket will take the case to trial. Is that what you want?
No, I'll take him to.
You want to keep him? Then it is set for trial. We're going to try the aggravated assault first. That is all.
Sure.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy watching this content, please like and subscribe. It helps new channels like this one gain exposure. There is a lot more good court to come, so if you like what you saw, tell your friends. If you didn't, tell me and let me know what you'd like to see and how I can improve. Thanks.